Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and our Avengers Endgame countdown continues with the sort of dark horse of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thor: The Dark World. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos daily, and you can find me over at Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365. So our journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues and it hits a little bit of a bump, sort of, with Thor: The Dark World. As you can see in my hand, I have the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. It is the standard Blu-ray and 3D version. I actually really like the cover, to be honest. It's really nice cover. Overall, it's a fine-looking disc. The 3D does lend itself some nice 3D effect, actually. It's very immersive at times. I kind of go back and forth between the Blu-ray and the 3D whenever I do watch it. There's no 4K edition as of yet. I can imagine that will eventually hit. It'll probably be one of the last titles that gets the 4K treatment. But, you know, that one and the first Thor, I can imagine, are definitely getting it at some point. So, until then, I'll just enjoy the standard Blu-ray and the 3D. So, Thor: The Dark World. Okay. Well, I often think of Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World as kind of the lower spectrum of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I actually like Thor: The Dark World a smidge more than I do Iron Man 3. There's a couple reasons for that. We are given a lot of lore to work with here as far as the Marvel Universe in general. You know, we have a blink and you miss it explanation of what the Infinity Stones are. They do actually talk about that quite a bit. And also, of course, the Ether is supposedly the one of the Infinity Stones. So, you know, at that point, everyone's like, well, how is it that, you know, that kind of thing, because it's kind of a liquid, you know, fluid moving kind of thing. It's not a static stone, but it is directly referred to as an Infinity Stone, especially in the teaser at the end, which I kind of really enjoyed, which of course leads us into Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my personal favorites. But I think Thor: The Dark World kind of, there's a lot I feel that could have gone right here, but I think just the overall change in tone really jolted a lot of fans, myself included. I know you're getting one of the guys from Game of Thrones to do this, and I think I give him credit because there are a lot of cool elements he did add to it. But overall, the story just wasn't overly compelling. And of course, the villain himself, Marikath, wasn't an appealing villain to begin with. He was just like some random dark elf that, you know, happened to have they give him like this great backstory with Odin and so forth. But I don't know. It's just like, I mean, Christopher Eccleston is still one of my favorites. And he was a great doctor, you know. I recognize him for that, but he was kind of given just not much to do. But I can't help but feel, and I'm going to make a little bit of a comparison to Captain Marvel, that in the hands of a more experienced filmmaker, this movie could have been better. I kind of believe that of Thor: The Dark World. I think there's the story is there. I just think the implementation was kind of all over the place. But of course we have, you know, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, who just brings it. And that's another issue. I'll address that right now. So, they have this wonderful setup of him, you know, disguising himself as Odin at the end of the movie. So you're left with movies, like several movies after, thinking, oh, what is Loki as Odin up to? Like, it's no good. It's no kind of, you know, it's just kind of trouble that's going on back in Asgard. And I think, I don't know, it's once again the transitioning of directors that kind of, I feel that what was set up in this end of this movie with Loki didn't really pay off for me later on in Ragnarok. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Thor Ragnarok. That was not what I pictured to be happening back in, you know, Asgard, especially with that much time that went by. I really expected some darker stuff, and that was my biggest disappointment, because I think it was a brilliant setup as far as the Dark World did with him, but when it came to what the payoff was in Ragnarok, I didn't like it. But everything else about Ragnarok I absolutely love, but we'll touch on that in the Ragnarok video. But yeah, I think also Chris Hemsworth really, this I feel was where he really came into being Thor. He embraced it. He was Thor at this point for me. It was, there was still that little bit of, getting to know your character kind of thing from, of course, Thor 1 and Avengers was a little bit like that. But I really feel that he started owning the character in this movie. Like it or not, the movie did have some good qualities, and I believe that is one of them. Also, I think honestly the weakest aspects of this movie are anything on Earth, really. I don't think the whole Jane Foster and Darcy and, I'm sorry, but Selvig, they didn't, I don't know. I think that was the worst part of the movie, to be honest. But once again, was it a fault of the director? That's something we're never going to really know. But I did enjoy the action scenes. I enjoyed, Chris Hemsworth as Thor and of course Loki. And it's just there was some good stuff to like, and I still go back to it. I don't hate the movie. In fact, I don't hate any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I mean, Iron Man 3 really straddles that line, to be honest. But anyway, no, I go back to Iron Man 3. But anyway, Thor: Dark World. If I'm in a mood, I'll watch it. I don't stay away from it. It does, and it does have a lot of the lore as far as the Infinity Stones go. That's where we're really starting to get that ball rolling in here. And as I mentioned earlier, the end credit scene has it, leading into Guardians. So there are things to like about Thor: The Dark World. So I don't want to say that, it's a total write-off, but it is one of the lower tier movies in my personal, top Marvel Cinematic Universe films. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of Thor: The Dark World? Let me know. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I put out videos daily. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I'll see you at the movies.